picked Storm Spirit for EG. Speaking of which, Abed is going to break up the entire smoke from 4 Zoomers. Their plan has been foiled. What do you think about them picking Storm every game? Obviously, game 1 was an exception.
It's good. It's a good hero. I think it is way better at being aggressive than it used to be. In the past, it was always so much like you sit back and kind of farm all the time hero, but now it's like you just get some of these mana reduction items, and you pair it with an IO, and you just have so much mana that you can move around actually ganking pretty effectively. Players have just gotten better at ganking with the hero. I feel like they're better at like anticipating, like ganking without the stun, you know? It's like they know when to permanently slow people. I just feel like it's effective in a lot of cases.
So what you're saying is you think the community and their hate for this hero and this team specifically, like if any other team picks Storm, they don't really complain, but if it's EG, they do. Obviously, the Singapore Major has a lot to do with that, picking it 5 games in a row.
I mean, yeah, it is very tough picking it 5 games and almost winning the whole tournament, but getting second.
Yeah.
Like, how can you put that on Storm as a negative, in my opinion? I don't know. That seems a little...
Well, I think the biggest thing is Jerax is going to be able to TP out here successfully.
Incredible.
I'm not saying Storm isn't good, but it also feels good to be able to last pick a mid a lot of the times, or if you're playing a lot of Storm, people become accustomed to how you're playing Storm, and just the game plan maybe isn't like it feels like tried and true, sure, but everybody else is used to playing against it as well, right? I'm not saying it's not going to work out. It's just interesting. I've never seen a team just pick the same hero over and over and over for years.
This one's fine, I promise. Like, the IO Storm combo has been first phased by a lot of teams in the last couple months, and in fact, all the way up until right before the patch came out. Very normal pick. It got nerfed a little bit in terms of like the bottle regen stuff, because that was one of the things that they used to keep his mana pool up pretty heavily, but I promise that this is not just like a weird EG picking Storm haha moment. It's like, it's legitimately a good
No. It's less about the patch, less about this game specifically, and just the idea of a team picking the same. It's just interesting. I love Bulba. I'm not even saying he's doing anything wrong. It's just never seen anything like it before. Especially with the reaction from people in general, right?
Yeah, that's usually how we should base our analytical decisions. I do agree.
It's interesting. I didn't say it was correct for the community to feel this way.
Okay.
What's interesting is Crit is going to be taken out to this Starbreaker, although Husky gets the kill with the right click.
Really nice
First
pick up.
for
And
4 Zoomers.
that was before level 2 on Husky. What Husky actually did do was he backed up and got Moo a faster level 2, and then they used that because Starbreaker's level 2 is so good. Oh, he's going to pressure him again, maybe? No, nothing too fancy.
Just glad to see some Dawnbreaker action, not going to lie. I think this hero is really cool. Panel kind of touched on it, the healing aspect between him and Chen. I assume one of them will be going Holy Locket. It's a lot of heal.
It is. I don't know if that's necessarily the item that Chen wants to rush. Mech is certainly better, even though the Locket's quite good for overall heal over time. But I assume like adding Mech burst heal is going to be a little bit more important. And it does pair nicely with heroes like Luna and Ogre, naturally tanky in some cases, so pairing survivability on those heroes can really help them out DPS and score bigger kills. The other thing I'm really curious about is Z-Freak playing Ogre. Typically a 5 hero, they opted to pair it with the Chen, so what that always means is you're like, okay, you take a 4 player and you put him on a 5. What items do they buy?
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. Does he buy defensive? Does he do something cool offensive? Does he go Veil, for example? I think Veil would be really good this game. A lot of magic and spell damage between Batrider and the Luna and the Dawnbreaker. I think that could be cool, but see what happens.
Yeah, I think of Z-Freak, I think Rubik, and I think Mirana. Those are the 2 heroes that he's most known for. As Abed looks like he's going to be taken out by Gunner. Lots of stacks of sticky napalm and the net creep coming in as well. I'm assuming helping out quite a bit is Starbreaker bot lane, but 2-0 advantage for 4 Zoomers, and the panel talked about how they need to get off to a better start this game, and they can't get off to, I mean, they're losing in net worth still. I mean, I think SVG brought this up. The fact that, like, when it comes to min-maxing just farm specifically, EG are the best.
Oh, never mind, he's fine. Excuse me, sorry.
I was done talking. It's all good, bro.
I didn't want the carry to miss a kill on the carry. That would have been a big deal. A lot of fighting.
Yeah, Z-Freak chasing Jerax here, but he's going to be fine. What do you think of this lane in general? So we have the Timbersaw from Nightfall against Luna Ogre with Bane support.
I mean, bullying him is certainly going to be hard. You get some damage bonus, which is kind of nice. But yeah, he's got so much regen. He kind of has just been doing whatever he wanted all game so far. But they're also able to get last hits. Once he gets 6, that's when Luna's going to be kicked out of the lane, certainly. But before that, it's not the worst for Luna, certainly. In fact, some people would probably say it's good.
Yeah, that might have been a kill there, but the tree was not able to connect there with the Chain, but get the Nightmare off with a couple right clicks, and Nightfall should be able to finish off Z-Frig, although the Fire Blast comes to delay it potentially. Another right click from Jerax. Okay, nicely done. Big tanky. Okay, he's dead. I told you.
Maybe that's one of those moments where you're like, you know what, honestly, just kill me. No, he had a salve. Unless he rebought. No, actually, that's a new salve that he bought. It was probably genuinely better for him to die in some ways, because now he comes back with full HP, he brings more regen. If he's low with just a single set of tangos, he has to bring out a salve. Then if Luna gets low, then the lane's legitimately over. So just one of those moments that maybe are probably fine in hindsight.
But yeah, never in the moment. You're always sad in the moment.
You are.
Usually.
As long as you don't do that more than like once every 80 seconds, right, then it should be fine.
All right, Penitence with the hammer. Move. Forcing out Arteezy, gets off the Starbreaker, but crit connects. And back to a respectable amount of HP and mana.
He is getting pressured decently well, but not the most mana on Medusa at the moment, so that's decent. Not much to offset it, though. Oh. Another dive. Oh my god, this
level
could be huge.
6 versus level 5. Net creep comes in again. Abed ticking down slowly. 4 stacks to sticky napalm. One more right click, not even needed. Gunner gets another kill.
Dude,
onto Abed mid.
Justified tip from Jerax there. He's like, dude, you just destroyed our Storm twice by bringing that net creep mid. Which is kind of a cool thing now, because right, it's the 2 smaller creeps. That means you find it one time and you're like, that's 2 ganks. He goes back a second time, adds a 1.75 second ensnare, and now Gunner gets 2 solo kills on the mid lane. With that said, Storm has a buttload of last hits.
That is true.
So they're actually basically even on net worth.
How is that possible?
Hit a lot of creeps, dude. He's at a lot of creeps. But getting the 2 kills is definitely big. Abed now 6. Doesn't have to worry about this as much, but Gunner does have a whole level over him, and he's also 1/4 of the way towards his BOTs. So this should be a decent timing on this, assuming the rest of the game continues at about the same pace.
Costa Bila getting chased by Nightfall, but Timberchain doesn't connect here. He is not quite level 6, halfway there. Like you said, likely will have to be, we'll force the Luna out of lane eventually here. But either way, net worth very even. Despite Gunner getting 2 solo kills, basically a wash mid now, as the tier 1 tower is getting pressured with the siege still alive. And we'll see, I mean, we're going to see Husky get ganked. Looks like he's finally going to take a death here. I mean, he's done some absolute work so far.
Yeah, he's done a good job. That pressure against Storm has been pretty
Arteezy. The hammer finishes him off, so Moo gets a solo kill. Man, this is a much different story than last game, for sure.
It is, and I'm sure a lot of this is actually the Orb of Venom purchase that he got early. Deuce is a very slow hero. She does have boots and a windlace to help offset some of it, but it gives Dawnbreaker a big movement speed advantage. And the hero has great dive potential, and Husky's been gone out of the lane a lot, so he also had a full level advantage on top of that. So all those extra levels, a really strong right click. Deuce is definitely vulnerable, and a low mana pool, so Snake doesn't even give you that much back either. So like, he snakes him, he gets 90 mana back. He loses 50 casting Mystic Snake. So Moo, pretty good hero to match up here.
Husky getting ganked here by Abed, diving the tier 1. Husky pretty healthy though, and not a whole lot of mana left on Abed, so will not result in a kill. And now EG have to head out with 0 mana on Abed. Jerax in the meantime can barely turn around. He's so covered in oil. Gunner able to get yet another kill to his name, so he is off to an incredible start, despite still not leading in net worth over Abed. That's so crazy.
I mean, he has a lower base damage than Storm. He kind of needs Firefly to get last hits in some cases, so Storm probably outlast hits him in some cases.
Yeah.
Huge kill.
Supposed to be like taken out by Nightfall. Forced out a rotation from Moo. Let's see if they can get a collateral kill here. Nightfall gets off the Timberchain, is going to be fine. But there's the Fire Blast, so they might get a consolation in Jerax instead. Gunner's made his way here as well. No deny from the creeps. So Gunner gets, I believe that's his 4th kill of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, 4-0.
That's the good thing that's going for Zoomers, though, getting another kill like that. Ooh,
yep,
another dive mid.
Getting go tier 2 tower this time. It seems to work a little bit better for EG. It's going to be a kill onto crit, though, so a trade of sorts as Abed looks to be fine.
That was cool, actually. He did try to flame break him closer to Ogre. That would have been a really sick catch, but Ogre Z-Freak a little under level now, level 4. Likely to bloodlust his core. Basically, he's playing 5 this game, and he's actually skill building for it as well, so probably not going to see anything too fancy here. I do like that Abed's being so aggressive, though, willing to dive the enemy supports, creating space in that way, but hey, Luna with right-click talents plus bloodlust is going to jungle very rapidly. Husky, in the meantime, is getting some D wards. He's level 4. They lost their tier 1 tower, so that part's not going great, but Dawnbreaker's pressure on the map is still pretty good, and they're close to net worth against EG.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more if you're 4 Zoomers. As Abed going to come back into the jungle, this time with his IO in tow. Kostabile is going to be forced out, but...
And an Arcane Ring, so good for Storm with IO here.
Yeah, that is true.
This is just going to allow him to stay on the enemy side of the map. Like, with just Null Talismans and a bottle and the IO having Soul Ring, like, and a shovel, by the way. Trusty Shovel and IO, very good. Z-Freak just dies here, I'm sure.
Yep, he's just waddling in, and he'll waddle back to the fountain. As Abed gets credit for that, and you can see how much mana he has to work with still. Although the tier 1 tower is taken out by 4 Zoomers, so they at least get something for this. I mean, it is, like you said, a position 5 Ogre this game. It's just very strange to think of Z-Freak as a position 5 in general.
It is. I think they are, based on how they drafted last series and this one, I think they are putting more mind towards making sure their lanes are stabilized because they've lost some games because of that. Like the panel pointed out, in the previous game, the Invoker matchup against Zeus ended up countering them a bit, so even though their side lanes were strong, their mid one wasn't ideal. But it's kind of hurting them in the mid game now.
Yep, the zip in. Okay, we have the Solar Guardian coming in, but Z-Freak looks like he's going to live as a result, and there's the lasso to counteract the initiation from Abed. A little bit late on the relocate, so great turnaround killer for 4 Zoomers.
All right, let's see if they can get the IO.
Where's he going to go? Starbreaker.
Wait, he might win.
Fire Blast.
Maybe he'll get out.
Will IO live? No.
Oh, Nightfall actually did play
2 for nothing.
Okay. Big swing for Nightfall.
I mean, if I couldn't see any statistics right now, I would think 4 Zoomers are leading by a decent margin, and that's just not the case.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Deuce is hitting creeps fast. Everybody is. But it's basically even. They're doing a good job offsetting some of their downsides. They can hit some okay timings if they start pressuring towers in the next like 5 minutes or so. They've got level 6 on Chen now. He's got Hand to God ready.
Oh, this would be a huge kill for EG. Gunnar already at half health. Z-Freak is in the area. Moo is here as well. There's the heal, Hand of God, keeping Gunnar alive, and will live as a result. And they get the kill onto Crit instead. Looks like Abed's going to be safe as Jerax will be sacrificing himself as well. So yet again, a nice turnaround for 4 Zoomers.
That one worked out really good because finally they went on a core that was tanky. It wasn't just a support. They did it with Ogre as well top. Dawnbreaker ulti got committed to save him. They get that swing. And now they're able to do it with the Hand of God as well. So it kind of works out nicely against Storm. Storm's going to get aggressive, but they can defend whoever gets gone on. And now with these hero deaths and Fiends of Grip used, this tower should be dead. They'll glyph it, but like, how do you stop all these creeps?
That's a tomato and a potato. When we combine them, it's the ultimate force, ultimate destruction.
That's true. These do not have magic resistance aura anymore.
But he's ripped. Look at that model.
They are both very Mega Jack. It's true. They got ice armor, which will be pretty effective at most stages. Decent slow there. Moo gonna cross the map again to go push out the top lane safely. Probably won't get pressure, and he's got ulti as well if a fight happens. Derek's getting aggressive, gonna go prevent some stacking, or at least have some vision actually if they do see heroes farming. Give some gank opportunities, but winning the last 2 skirmishes have put them in a great spot. Luna's farming aggressively, level 8 now.
Look at those babies.
Oh, dude, they're
Look at
veins.
that. Love that his face just never changes. You know, it's just in a constant. It's like the Life Stealer face, the portrait that's just the jaws just open all the time.
Just always open. I don't know. They're about to get attack speed.
Well,
I
want to see people abuse the death throws.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clinks where you Helm of the Dom? I don't know if does that still work?
Oh, because you could probably Helm the Dom and then you eat it and then you get the death throw?
Yeah.
I see. So
I don't know if they got rid of
melee
that.
range, Thunderclap, then Death Throat for 50%
wow,
more damage.
The Thunderclap really brings it together. The terrible nuke.
That's not bad.
Did they buff it? I can't remember if they buffed that one.
25% slow for 3 seconds? Like, come on, bro.
It costs half your mana.
Very
expensive.
It's not bad. It's only 50. Thundercloud.
No, they did buff
reasonable.
it then.
Oh, yeah. It's been buffed for years, bro. Have you ever played Doom?
I do. I always go for the Centaur. It's the only creep.
No, the red one's it used to be better because it used to give you an aura, but this one's quite good. It's a really solid nuke. 50 mana for 150.
Yeah, that's better than I remember.
Now you're going to be a better Centaur.
I basically have dementia, so that's not really saying much.
Okay.
As Costa Bile in the bot lane, will be pressuring with the potato and the tomato. And there's a fort. And EG will likely defend if they go any further here.
Moo with interesting itemization wants to go for a Shadow Blade this game. Jarek's basically just standing aggressive. He's looking for a grip setup on anybody that comes to jungle, such as a Luna. But Luna's actually stayed bottom this while he's pinging him. He's like, when is Luna going to go hit creeps? But the reality is that 4 Zoomers wants to go pressure the map. Jarek knows he can't defend this, so he just wants one hero to come in this area so he can grip and they can relocate and kill him. But they're not doing it, so he's just going to be a little bit useless right now because EG knows they're not ready to fight yet.
When will they be ready? What's EG's plan going forward?
Manta looks quite good on Dusa. That's almost done. Once he gets that, he's going to be protected against Eclipse. He's going to be protected more so against Lasso. He'll be better protected against getting stunned into Dawnbreaker ulti. So those are all upsides, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is going to need more time this. But this is the power of the Chen lineups, right? Their push is just going to be a lot stronger for a while here. Jarex is literally still there. This is his home. He's waiting because he knows eventually Luna's going to farm small camp, she's going to farm large camp, then she's going to the tri camp. And that, never mind, she's not. She's actually going bottom. Never mind.
Yep, all is lost, sadly. If this was a pub, he might have abandoned by accident.
Arteezy is like, all right, just come get her. They know he's TPing now. Man, he is literally
he gets initiated on. Gunner's in the area. And there's the hand of Gaben. All right, crit, gets off the tether. Nicely done, Abed. Making sure he's not too far away. Crit though, tether in 3 seconds. They're gonna see him thanks to sticky napalm. And looks like he's gonna drop. But still, that was a pretty big rotation for 4 Zoomer, so actually not the worst for EG. Still buying a lot of time for Mr. Arteezy to farm away. But also Luna. Luna's the other one that's going to feel pretty comfortable at this time because they've got all these heals to back up Costa Bile. They've got 4 points in Bloodlust as well. So Luna just looks pretty safe for now. Once BKB gets finished in a short amount of gold, the map is being controlled well. They should be able to, after taking this tier 1 tower, especially if they can keep going and get a tier 2. I mean, taking Roche is just going to be a lot easier for the Dire side. They're offsetting a lot of the tactical advantage that the Radiant team has because EG just knows that team fighting is not going to be very safe. So they continue pressuring the tier 2. They're doing this with Chen creeps. They've got Skellies as well to take it. The rally! It's so powerful!
Yes.
2 Nether Skulls.
Oh. Not the most important here. Maybe throw it on a Timber Saw is what I'd probably do. Limit some of the damage he takes, up your pure spell damage, that's always good. Oh, look at these Skelly boys. They're too precious to give away freely. It's true. Just keep rallying.
That has not been nerfed, right?
No, it's in some ways it's been buffed because now you can just see how many rallies there are without it taking up your whole buff bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool feature, though, honestly.
The taking up your entire buff bar with little Skelly bros?
It just makes you feel stronger, even if it's just placebo. Gunner getting gone on. There's the lasso into the solar bind, whatever the hell that ability is called these days. As relocate comes out. Nicely done.
That was good.
Might cost him his life, though. As Jerax gets off a Nightmare into the TP. You can see Abed is actually zipping quite a distance to try to potentially save crit. The Starbreaker connects, and the hammer's just too much.
Nicely done. Oh, he's actually going Orchid, sorry, not Shadowblade.
Yeah, I was going to say, what would Shadowblade accomplish? It's kind of a weird...
Yeah, it would have been weird for sure. Orchid makes a lot more sense, gives him a Storm Lockdown, more mana regen. He's got the Shard as well. How much rally have they got? 12 rally, 36 bonus damage. And they have bonus 35 from Lunar Blessing. So Roche is dead.
Jesus,
Roche is very dead.
That was less than 10 seconds. Not much time for EG to do anything about that. So Aegis for Costa Bile, but EG's still going to continue with the smoke, trying to get a potential pick off here.
I mean, the lineup on the 4 Zoomer side looks really solid this game, like we saw.
Yeah, Moo will be the pick off. That'll be a freebie. Oh, Gets off the hammer. Starbreaker as well. Into the hand of God. Moo is alive. Nice Nightmare. Looks like it's going to help set up the eventual kill, but it cost them a Stone Gaze. Took quite a while, but they do find it in the end.
Yeah, it was a big committal for sure. Hand of God used. They pop mech as well. Not quite able to save him. It was close. Gunner. Oh, this is bad.
Gunner. I mean, they don't have Hand of God anymore. Solar Guardian obviously is down because of the death here, so a freebie for EG. That is a costly mistake for Gunner.
It was, yeah. I think he thought that EG backed up from that one. But they just stuck around. They just killed him. No BKB quite yet. He's really short by about 200, but just underestimated their damage potential, I guess. Or maybe underestimated Abed having full mana again, but with the Kai Assange, the triple null, it's not even 25 minutes yet, so it's only going to get better for Abed here, but yeah. Crit's able to keep him full, and he gets a nice kill.
Arteezy has had the Manta, has the ultimate orb now. On top of that, going towards the Scotty. Basically, an ult orb away from finishing it.
It's a big moment. He does not have Dragonlance, so his range is not insane, but once he gets Scotty against the Luna, that will be a nice advantage. But Costabile's got Grove Bow and Dragonlance himself, actually. So his attack range is basically the same as Medusa's. That's not bad. Just 30 short or so.
Or Zoomers, still with 3 minutes left on this Aegis, will be going for more towers. Tower advantage definitely going their way. Yet
he's got 3 trolls.
1k lead. Oh my god. How much damage are we talking about here?
2 trolls.
What's the 15? 45
damage.
Oh my god. They need to take these out. Timbersaw needs to do some work. All right, they kill a few. That is important.
Oh, he's going to lose it.
You got to protect your babies. What is this?
3 Dark Trolls. Oh, they ran out of mana. They pulled so many dead bodies out of the ground.
Well, you don't need dead bodies anymore, right?
Well, no, but
that's the.
Where do you think these skeletons are coming from?
The lore is ruined with that patch.
That's true.
Jerax is ticking out.
Corpses are finally done in Dota 2. They really held on for a long time.
Didn't Pit Lord used to have some mechanic with that?
Yes, he used to put... Pit of Malice used to spawn dead bodies around it, and then your third skill would explode dead bodies to heal you and deal damage.
So bad.
No, it was not. Do you remember how busted it was? Like level 1, you could like push towers with it and heal and stuff.
Push? Oh, really?
Yeah. It was. There was like a period of time where it was like death push like crazy.
Good old
I think
Pit Lord.
Dota 1.
Well, it was because he wasn't even called Pit Lord in Dota 2.
Well, of course, but
he didn't have that in Dota 2. Pretty sure.
But the pressures so far are pretty interesting. Costabile 0-1-0, top net worth in the game. They're just getting their objective kills. He's still got Aegis for a minute and a half.
Barely top net. I mean, it's basically even with Arteezy.
Okay, yeah, but like Arteezy 0-1, he's been in 2 assists. He deserves to be, slightly higher.
That's quite the way for Nightfall. What does he have? He has the Hood, Yules, going for the Sage Kaya, I believe. As Scotty is finally finished on Arteezy, and you can see with this smoke that they've had enough of this tower pushing. There's the initiation. Of course, he does have the Aegis. It will be consumed, so the Solar Guardian not doing anything as a result. Who just using it as an old-fashioned TP. Stone Gaze is popped. Z-Freak and company trying to run away as Abed focusing on Husky for now. You can see the heals come out. For Zoomer's very tanky, but they've already lost 2 supports, so it's a 5v3 just like that. Now the Eclipse comes through, but the Illusion's tanking a lot of that damage. And the Fiend's get through the BKB. 4 dead as Mood gets out just a sliver of HP. So a 3-for-0, but EG not even remotely close to losing a hero that fight.
Yeah, it just felt like they were in full control, basically. They got aggressive on the Luna. They didn't want to pop any heal nukes effectively to save him. So he kind of just respawned. And when he respawns, they popped Eclipse, and they were looking for a lasso or whatever. But the problem is, Deuce just presses ulti. You have to run away. The whole time, Batrider's looking to, like, drop a lasso on somebody, but he didn't want to necessarily put it on the Timbersaw. Maybe he should have committed. Maybe they would have killed him there. But Z-Freak dies basically for nothing. He gets Yulesed in the air, nicely done. That delays the Eclipse. Then the Nightmare saves him, so he actually just doesn't die. He at least should have died. Timber should have gone down, but the Nightmare gave him some time. They gripped the BKB Luna. Just absolute dismantling for EG in this fight.
See, Abed very excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, they got everything they want.
I mean, it's crazy because we kept mentioning, they're pretty close in net worth despite losing so many heroes. And then one fight, they're 5k ahead. They were just waiting for that Scotty timing and a little bit of overextension for Zoomers, maybe a little overconfidence. And not having that Solar Guardian connect was real. I mean, that's a big team fight mechanic that they're just missing. Use it like while the Aegis was about to dissipate there.
Yeah, they tried to use it to save Luna. That was the one heal they burned for it, but it didn't feel good. They almost needed for the stun follow-up.
Yep, Z-Freak getting initiated on. There comes Nightfall with a big whirling death buyback onto the Ogre, though, as Stone Gaze forcing 4 Zoomers out. TP canceled, actually, so Moo just getting kited with this Scotty from afar. There's the Nightmare. Actually dodges the Mystic Snake unintentionally, but regardless, Moo takes the tumble. 8K. Man, EG just opened this up instantly, it feels like.
Yeah, they did the right thing. They avoided all these fights earlier because they didn't want to gamble on Zoomer's better team fight. They didn't want to deal with Solar Guardian. They didn't want to deal with the Chen heal. They didn't want to deal with possible Eclipse damage output. They waited until Dusa has this Manta Scotty, and then it's really easy to fight. It's reducing the heal on whoever she's attacking, and they have lots of heal. It's reducing the slow by a huge amount on the Luna, the one core that's really scary. So they just, and she ends up being really tanky and hard to burst between like Lasso and Dawnbreaker ulti. So it's pretty rare to see pro teams at this level dodge fights so obviously, but they played this game perfectly in hindsight. Just sat back, made Zoomers, let Zoomers get some lead, go about even, but then they just outplayed them in some of these fights, and now it just looks a lot different.
I'd be interested to go back and see what the level discrepancy was before this opened up for EG, because 4 Zoomers are obviously, I mean, I wouldn't say they're like death balling necessarily, but they were grouping up a lot more than EG. But yeah, you're right. EG just biding their time and taking advantage of an opening there. So now, Arteezy has the Chrysalis. We'll be going for the Silver Edge this time around. Nightfall, a recipe away from BKB. And you can see Crit already has the Holy Locket. His inventory looks pathetic, but it's not.
It does look sad, but Philly Stone's great on the hero once he makes mech as well. The amount of output he's going to give, and just the value that he provides to Storm. That's basically it. Storm's net worth is this high because every 25 seconds, Soul Ring is giving him a huge amount of mana. So just works out nicely. Spends less on mana regen himself. It's now over 25 minutes as well, so his null talismans are even better. Just everything looking good for Storm Spirit here as he moves towards Ags, and that'll make the team fights even easier.
Great here. I think they should pick Storm more often. What do you think?
You're right. It is
working out really well.
It does do well. Gets them to very late game situations in a strong way.
That bloodlusted Chen, alligator, crocodile, whatever the hell it is, that is massive.
It looks like 2 heroes.
It looks really weird.
His,
is he riding Primal Beast right now?
I think so.
Gracious. I didn't know he was in Captain's mode. Speaking of which, where's Marcy? Hasn't been long enough.
Maybe. The hero can be quite good, I gotta say.
I mean, it's not broken enough to not be included, I feel like.
I don't know. Some people view her as quite strong, but, you know, she's not as busted in
you know, there was in Dota 1, maybe into Dota 2 as well, there was maybe a 4-year period, literally 4 years, where Aya was banned in Captain's mode. It was too broken for that long.
I believe it. Oh, good grip here by
relocate.
Jared's bottom.
Yep, grip, setting up a nice and easy kill for EG. Dawnbreaker extremely tanky, but
they will know there's a ward here. They're trying to get a catch.
Yep, nice initiation though. The Stone Gaze comes through, so that's going to break this initiation up completely from 4 Zoomers, and back comes Abed, pops the BKB. They're going to find the Ogre, they're going to find the Crocodile Man himself as well. 3 dead for 4 Zoomers. I'm going to get some tweets that it's an alligator, not a crocodile, or vice versa. I don't know the difference, I'll be honest, Purge.
Well, alligator, I believe, is freshwater. Crocodile is saltwater. And considering that it is a Egyptian-type set, I'm going to assume that's a saltwater croc, baby.
It's from the Nile.
I really don't know.
Okay. I'll assume all of that's correct. Tweet at Purge Gamers if you think he's wrong or dumb or
US.
any of the above.
Anyways, I have Scotty very good versus range heroes. Bat Rider lassos, still gets mega slowed. The purpose of Bat is going fast, pulling people far away. Game's very straightforward for EG, especially when that engagement happens at the same time against Dawnbreaker, and EG is just gonna very cleanly close out the series. Zoomers felt a lot more cohesive this game, for sure. They got some good stuff done, but they needed to be more far ahead, and they needed to crush any of these team fights in a convincing way, and it did not happen. So just EG really showing up to play this DPC season.
Yeah. As we're going to see a replay.
Watch this slow. Look at this. You can't get away.
It's hard. Very difficult.
Deuce eats the entire clips, doesn't care. Z-Freak will die because he just has no items, because he basically was playing 5 this game. He is playing 5 this game, in fact. Husky's the one with items.
I mean, Husky's a really good Chen, so it makes sense.
Jerax breaks smoke.
Here's Jerax, yep, like you said. He's going to be the sacrifice, but here comes Abed with the Aghanim Scepter onto 4 heroes.
Oh!
Stone Gaze to follow, and EG going to finish this game out in style as GGs are called. That was a disgusting electric vortex from Abed.
Into the Medusa ulti, Stone Gaze. Ugh, beautiful. Perfectly done there by EG at all stages.